My fiancé, 23-year-old, and I, 21-year-old, have been together for 8 years. During the Christmas holidays, he took me on a trip to Aspen, and he proposed to me. Clearly, we're on cloud 9 with this huge milestone in our lives, so I'm thinking if what I'm doing is wrong, or staining something that should be a happy memory. The thing is that my fiancé has a sister who is the same age as me. We went to school together, but we weren't friends. When my fiancé and I started dating, for some reason, she started spreading lies about me, like saying I was bullying her at school or spreading rumors about me and her brother. She claims that she wasn't the one to say those things, but I know it was her. So yeah, we never really had a good or close relationship, and I can say that it has impacted my fiancé's relationship with her as well. Now, I have to choose those who will help me with my bridal party and wedding planning. I got my own sister, one of my cousins, some friends, and my fiancé's other little sister, who is 18 years old, as bridesmaids, but I actively excluded his other sister. When she found out about it, she said she's sick of me always being so petty and such a drama queen. I told her that she'll get an invitation for our wedding, but to be honest, I don't want to spend more time than necessary with her. I am not close to her, and I have no desire to make her a bridesmaid. She said that I'm acting immature because this is stuff that supposedly happened when we were in school, and she said again that she didn't, and I never bothered to ask for her side. I told her whatever, it's my wedding, and I can do whatever I want, along with other things. Some people didn't like my response either. But what actually has me wondering if I was a jerk here is because I was thinking about it. I am an adult, and I'm ready to take a big step like marriage with my fiancé, but she called me immature, and it kinda stayed with me, you know? I'm wondering if it's time to be the bigger person and start over, which would make my decision here immature and asshole-like. She's always going to be my husband's sister, my children's aunt. We'll be an official family now, so I don't know exactly what the saying is, but it's like extend an olive branch. However, I also feel entitled to have those who I truly want as my bridesmaids. I feel that's my right, as I'll only get married once, and I want it to be perfect for me. And that vision of perfect doesn't include her as a bridesmaid, so please give me your opinion. Edit for clarification. The rumors she started were not just when we were 13. It was all throughout our school years until we graduated. Yes, my fiancé agrees with me on this, because he also isn't close with his sister. I am close with his little sister. That's why she's a bridesmaid. She accused me of bullying her before any of the rumors started. Her parents went to our school to talk with our teachers, and they told them that I wasn't bullying their daughter. She was just lying for some reason. Another edit, because I've seen this, is a common theme among comments. I would love for my wedding day to be perfect. I know that perfect doesn't really exist, but the closest to it at least, because this is going to be one of my happiest memories. But I understand this is just one day, and what's important is marriage. That's why I was wondering if extending the olive branch was the right move here, because I could make sure, or at least do my part, to have a good relationship with my sister-in-law for the rest of our lives. Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. When someone is asked or decides to be the bigger person, they are essentially saying that they accept another person's bad behavior and excuse it rather than holding the person accountable for their transgression. Why is it okay for someone to be let off the hook for bad behavior? Why is it always about keeping the peace? Why? It just teaches the person that they can behave however they want without facing consequences. Comment 2. Frankly, everyone sucks here. Nobody here sounds mature enough to be getting married. Something people forget is that marriage is for life. Well, the long term anyway, while a wedding is just one day. Your sister-in-law is always going to be your sister-in-law for your married life, so excluding her won't help in building any kind of long-term relationship. Even if it's never going to happen, you can always say, you tried. Now, for the update. Hey everyone, thanks for all the comments on my last post. I really appreciated the advice and different perspectives. So it's been a month since I last updated you all on the situation with my fiancé's sister and our wedding planning drama. Let me tell you, things have taken some unexpected turns. After reading your comments, I spent a lot of time reflecting on the whole situation. I remembered how, back in high school, my fiancé's sister would glare at me from across the classroom after spreading those nasty rumors. It was like she had a personal vendetta against me for dating her brother. My fiancé, bless his heart, always stood by me, even when it caused tension at his family dinners. He knew the truth, and that's what mattered to me. But now, with the wedding coming up, I couldn't shake the feeling that maybe it was time to try and mend fences. I talked it over with my fiancé, and he was hesitant at first. He didn't want me to feel uncomfortable on our big day, but he also admitted that having his family united would mean a lot to him. So I made a decision. I reached out to his sister and asked if we could meet up and talk. Just the two of us. No fiancé, no family, no distractions. She agreed, surprisingly, and we met at a local coffee shop. It was awkward at first, but I laid it all out on the table. I told her how her actions had hurt me, how it had affected my relationship with her, and how I wanted our future family to be different. She listened, and then she did something I never expected. She apologized. She told me that back in school, she felt threatened by my relationship with her brother and acted out. She admitted it was wrong and that she regretted it. My jaw nearly hit the floor. I never thought I'd see the day. We talked for hours, and by the end of it, we reached a compromise. She wouldn't be a bridesmaid. That was still a step too far for me. But she would help with some of the wedding planning. She had a knack for organization and offered to take care of coordinating with vendors. It was a role that kept her involved without being too close for comfort. The news of our truce spread through the family like wildfire. My fiancé's parents were overjoyed, and his little sister was thrilled that the tension was easing. Even some of my friends, who had been my rock during the high school drama, were happy to see progress. But of course, it wasn't all smooth sailing. At the first wedding planning session with his sister involved, there was a moment where the old tension resurfaced. We were discussing the seating chart, and she made a snide remark about where to seat troublemakers. I felt my temper flare up, but then she laughed and said she was joking. I was taken aback by her attempt at humor, but I let out a laugh too, and the ice was broken. As the weeks went by, she proved to be incredibly helpful. She had contacts with a florist who gave us a discount, and she managed to smooth over a scheduling conflict with the photographer. It was like she was a different person, or maybe I was just seeing a side of her I never knew existed. The biggest test came when we had a confrontation with one of the vendors. They had double booked and were trying to push our schedule around. My fiancé's sister stepped in and handled it with such finesse that even I was impressed. She fought for our day with a passion I didn't know she had. In the end, the wedding planning is going better than I could have hoped. My fiancé's sister and I aren't best friends, but there's a newfound respect between us. It's a delicate balance, but it's working. And my fiancé, he's just relieved to see his family coming together before our big day. Stepmom-in-law insists I open gift for her grandson at my daughter's birthday party. I tell her it's not his birthday. My 30-year-old daughter is turning 4 this week and had her birthday party this past weekend. We initially weren't going to open presents with people there, but as things were winding down, my sister's nieces were asking for my daughter to open gifts. We compromised and said we would open the gifts of the people who were still there, and we'd open the ones from out of town/state, those who had left later. Everyone was fine with that. As I was going through the gifts to pull out the ones from those still in attendance, my stepmother-in-law's grandson, around 11 or 12 years old, hands me a gift and says, "Here's G's gift." I was confused and said, "G? But it's P's birthday, not G's." He responded, "Yeah, we brought G a gift too." I responded back, "Okay, well, she can have it later. It's not her birthday, so P is going to open her gifts." As I'm sitting on the floor helping P open her presents, I hear my stepmother-in-law ask where the gift for G is. Her grandson loudly responds in a snarky tone. She said she couldn't have it because it's not her birthday. I ignored it and continued to help P open gifts and thank everyone. After gifts were done, the in-laws got up to leave, and I said goodbye. My stepmother-in-law then starts telling me that they brought a gift for G to open while P was opening gifts. I tell her that yes, I know, and that I appreciate it. But it's not G's birthday or party, mind you. She's 18 months old and didn't care about the gifts to begin with. My father-in-law then chimes in, saying, "Well, that's what we did with our kids when they were younger, so they didn't feel left out." I stated that I understood, but that the kids each have their own birthdays, and that I don't want that becoming a thing with my kids, where they feel that they have to share their day or feel bad for being celebrated on their day. I should note that I'm a teacher, and I also see how things like this lead to entitlement. And I don't want my kids thinking that anytime they go to a party or their sibling has one, they're entitled to a gift. They can learn and be taught that it's okay to celebrate others and be happy for them. I explained to my in-laws again that she could still have the gift, it just wouldn't be during the party. They left angry. Am I the idiot? Update. The in-laws were also upset when P opened her gift from them. They had purchased her a VTech Bluey phone. My girls have one. When P opened it, she loudly exclaimed, "Another Bluey phone! Now I can share!" I thought it was super sweet that her first thought was to think about being able to share her gift with G, because they always fight over the one they already have. But the in-laws were irritated that it was a duplicate gift. Update. Thank you to everyone who confirmed that I'm not the idiot, and especially to those who commended me on my parenting. It's hard in today's world to know if what you're doing is too harsh or the right thing. And I often find myself second-guessing myself, hence this situation post. Part of me now wishes I would have just let G open the gift, as it was a set of bath toys that they already have as well. Oh, the smoke and flames that would have been blowing out of their ears. Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Not the idiot. It's your daughter's birthday party, and she deserves to have the spotlight all to herself. Each child deserves their own moment to shine on their birthday, without feeling overshadowed or sidelined. Your stance on teaching your kids about celebrating others without feeling entitled to gifts is commendable. It's important for children to learn about patience, gratitude, and the joy of giving without expecting anything in return. You handled the situation with grace and stood firm in your decision to ensure your daughter's birthday remained about her. Don't let anyone make you feel guilty for that. Comment 2. Not the idiot. You are smart for raising your kids to understand that it is doable to not have to share your special day. Each has their own birthday. Each will get presents on that day. They can learn and be taught that it's okay to celebrate others and be happy for them. I explained to my in-laws again that she could still have the gift, it just wouldn't be during the party. They left angry. This is a valuable life lesson. Your in-laws are way out of line. Now, for the update. Hey everyone, thanks for all the comments on my last post. It's been a month since my daughter P's birthday party, and boy, do I have an update for you. So, after the whole gift opening fiasco with my in-laws, things cooled down for a bit, or so I thought. It turns out, my stepmother-in-law had been stewing over the incident more than a pot of her famous chili. She had been talking to other family members, painting me as the villain who denied her precious granddaughter G a moment in the spotlight. Fast forward to last week, my husband's cousin had a birthday party for her son, and we were all invited. I should have seen it coming, but I walked right into a trap. As soon as we arrived, my stepmother-in-law made a beeline for us, dragging G along with her. She had a gift in her hand, and with a dramatic flair that would put Broadway to shame, she handed it to G, saying, "Here, sweetheart, this is because you didn't get to open one at your sister's party." You could have heard a pin drop. Everyone was watching, waiting for my reaction. I was caught off guard, but I managed to keep my cool. I thanked her and suggested that G could open it later at home. But the damage was done. The whispers started, and I could feel the judgmental eyes on me. The rest of the party was awkward, to say the least. My father-in-law avoided me like I was a pop quiz on a Monday morning. But the real kicker came when it was time for the birthday boy to open his presents. My in-laws had gotten him a pretty cool remote-controlled car. As he ripped off the paper, my daughter P whispered to me, "Mom, why didn't I get a car for my birthday?" I was floored. The injustice of it all hit me like a dodgeball to the face. My in-laws had deliberately gotten P a duplicate gift for her birthday, knowing full well she already had it, and now they were showing off with this extravagant gift for their nephew. The rest of the evening was a blur of cake and forced smiles. When we got home, I had a long talk with my husband about everything. He was as shocked as I was by his parents' behavior. We both agreed that we needed to set some boundaries with his family. But wait, there's more. Just when I thought things couldn't get any more dramatic, my sister-in-law, who had been silent throughout this whole ordeal, called me out of the blue. She confessed that she had overheard her parents planning the gift-giving spectacle at the cousin's party. They wanted to make a point to show me up in front of the whole family. I couldn't believe it. The people who were supposed to be family were acting like characters out of a soap opera. My sister-in-law apologized for not saying anything sooner and admitted that she thought their behavior was out of line. So, here we are, a month later, and I'm still trying to navigate this minefield of family drama. My husband and I have decided to limit our interactions with his parents for a while. It's not an easy decision, but we need to protect our kids from this toxic environment. As for P and G, they're doing just fine. They're too young to understand the complexities of adult pettiness. They're happy as long as they have each other, and honestly, that's all that matters to me. Ex-wife always asks my hubby for favors and schedule changes regarding custody. But today, I bring the sick kids to work with me. She asks him to meet her with the kids on our scheduled weekend. I get upset and insist he takes a turn. Oh boy. So my husband and I have 4 children combined. I came with 2, and he came with 2. It has become a burr for me that his ex-wife is consistently asking for favors/schedule changes to the custody agreement in her favor, and he always complies and bends over backwards to appease. Which I can totally appreciate keeping the peace, but I feel this is more than that. Recently, she had a week-long trip planned out of town during her normal time with the kids. She asked us first if we wanted to keep them. Obviously, we said yes. When it came time for us to get them, of course my husband had to drive about an hour to meet her, because she always refuses to come to our home. Their legal agreement is to always meet halfway, but I feel like under extenuating circumstances/favors, the least she could do is bring them pick them up. Her home is over an hour away, and my husband consistently makes the full trip her direction. When the littles, age 8 and 7, arrived Sunday, 8 was sick, high fever, cough. I work for a small company and have the space and privilege to bring kids with me to work if when needed. So both came to work with me on Monday. Age 7 started a fever next, and Tuesday. Wednesday morning, husband took them to the doctor, and then my mom watched them that afternoon. Thursday, back to my office again. This is while I'm still being mom to our older 2, taking to school, all the things. I have to say, they are great kids and have good office manners. But work has been insane, and it is obviously an added stress/extra responsibility through the day that I gladly volunteered to do. I love them. His ex texted Thursday evening that she would be back on Friday and off work, and wanted my husband to meet her with the kids. This is on our scheduled weekend. He told her that he had an early morning meeting, and he could either meet her super early, or it would be afternoon or evening before he could meet her. She was perfectly fine with waiting until the kids could be delivered. My office is about a 30-minute drive for her. I got upset when my husband refused to even ask her to come relieve me at work when she had nothing else to do that day. I finally told him he needed to tell his boss that his kids have been sick all week and going to work with his wife, and it was time for him to take a turn. And he did. He missed his early morning meeting, which he misses this meeting often when it's convenient for him. And he drove the kids back to their mother, like she wanted. Am I the jerk for putting my foot down after a long week? Edit. I was the only office lady this entire week, so we did not infect anyone else. Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Not the Ash lay, but your husband is for giving you the silent treatment over this. Why is he so accommodating to his ex, but treating you like a default parent for his kids? Time to set some boundaries and expectations, OP. Comment 2. Not the Ash lay, but you're the Ash Lee for bringing sick kids to work. Surely that's not why the company has that policy. If his kids are sick, then he needs to take sick days to care for them. Now for the update. Hey Reddit, it's been a month since I last posted about the situation with my husband, his ex-wife, and the custody arrangements. I've got quite the update for you all. So, after the last incident, where I had to juggle work and 6 stepkids because my husband wouldn't stand up to his ex, things got a bit heated between us. We had a long talk that weekend, and I laid it all out. I told him how I felt like I was being taken advantage of, not just by his ex, but by him too. He was shocked, I think. He hadn't realized how much it was affecting me and our family. He promised to set firmer boundaries with his ex. And guess what? He actually did it. The next time she tried to pull a last-minute change, he stood his ground and insisted they stick to the agreed schedule. She wasn't happy, but she complied. It was a small victory, but it felt huge. But then, the plot thickened. My husband's ex started dating someone new. This guy, let's call him Rick, seemed to be influencing her in a good way. She became more cooperative and even started meeting us halfway for the kids' exchanges. It was like a breath of fresh air. Meanwhile, my husband and I were working on our communication. We started having weekly check-ins to discuss the schedule, the kids, and any issues that came up. It was during one of these talks that my husband admitted he'd been avoiding confrontation with his ex because he was scared of losing more time with his kids. That hit me hard. I hadn't realized the depth of his fear. But then, just when things seemed to be smoothing out, Rick and my husband's ex broke up. We braced ourselves for the worst, expecting her to revert to her old ways. Surprisingly, she didn't. It turned out that during her relationship with Rick, she'd seen the benefit of a more amicable approach and decided to stick with it. The kids noticed the change too. They were more relaxed, and the transitions between homes became less stressful. Our blended family started to feel more, well, blended. One day, my husband's ex called to talk about the kids' upcoming school events. She mentioned she was struggling to balance her work schedule and asked if we could help out. But this time, it was different. She wasn't demanding or expecting us to bend over backward. She was genuinely asking for help. My husband looked at me, and I nodded. We agreed to take the kids to their events. It was a weird feeling, working as a team with her, but it was for the kids' sake, so it felt right. Then came the jaw-dropping moment. At one of these school events, my husband's ex pulled me aside. She apologized for how she'd treated us in the past and thanked me for being there for the kids. I was floored. I never expected an apology from her, but it was a welcome surprise. Things have been going well since then. The kids are thriving, and our household is a lot less tense. My husband and I are stronger than ever, and we've found a new respect for each other's roles in this complicated family dynamic. Just last week, we had another surprise. My oldest, who's been struggling with math, got an award for Most Improved Student. We were all so proud, and my husband's ex even sent a congratulatory text. It was a small gesture, but it meant a lot. And the cherry on top? My husband's ex has started dating someone new again, and this guy seems even better than Rick. He's great with the kids, and he's encouraged her to keep up the positive co-parenting. So, that's where we are now. It's been a chaotic ride, but I'm feeling contented with how things have turned out. The kids are happy, my husband and I are on the same page, and his ex is... well, she's becoming a part of this extended family in a way I never thought possible. If you liked this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day.